All right, welcome everybody. Thanks those of you who are here watching live. Appreciate those of you who are able to tune in and catch one of the live stream recordings as well. This is Civ4 AI Survivor, game number 7. Sorry, it has a Q instead of a C. Okay, I can fix that. I apparently typed the text down here wrong. Zara has a Q. That's right. Okay. We'll fix that. All right. But this is game number, this is season 5, game number 7. We have 6 AIs in this game. The pool 1 leader, just as a quick refresh, the pool 1 leader is Justinian. Justinian's a big favorite in the picking contest. I have picked him to win. Most of the contest entrants have him. We have about 3/4 of the contest has him picked to win in this game. I'm a little skeptical of him because he has this seafood start, but I didn't like any of the other leaders in this game very much. The pool 2 leader is Zara Jakob over here in the northeast corner. I have picked him first to die because he does not have any copper, and I think he's going to get crowded in the corner, run out of space, and I think he's going to get attacked by Alex. Other leaders we have Alexander, militaristic AI, pretty terrible at anything economy, likes to fight people, pretty straightforward. Churchill, a pretty pacifistic AI. He is kind of your classic protective leader. He's just going to turtle and defend what he has. Has done okay in some of the games, but not finished well, if that makes sense. He's often had like a decent early to mid game and then like collapsed in the late game in some of our previous starts. Down here we have Qin Shi Huang of China, who has also done okay in the past. He's made a few wildcard appearances and done reasonably well in those games. Unfortunately, he's saddled with really, really bad traits. Industrious Protective, one of the worst trait combos I think you can have for this setup. And he's kind of here in the middle of the map, so we'll see what he ends up doing. And then lastly, we have Peter. Peter's a weird AI. His traits pull in 2 different directions, philosophical, expansive. I wouldn't say he's been terribly successful. I think he has a couple wildcard appearances. So it's mostly a pretty mediocre field aside from Justinian. Zara had a good season 1, but has done very little since then. Has kind of been riding off past successes. So we're really curious where the religions are going to pop up. Justinian and Zara, we think, are going to get them, but where they spread is a pretty big question. And as I was saying before this game started, I think there's going to be a lot of cautious faces. Cautious faces on the diplomacy screen, and that means the wars could be really unpredictable. So let's go ahead and get started. So. Something to note right away, Justinian, not starting with a religion, starting with fishing. That's the tech he needs to research. So let's highlight that right away. The AI will, in fact, go for fishing if they have a seafood-heavy start over going for a religion out of the gate. Zara does appear to be on religion first. Also, Qin and Peter are animal husbandry. So that's, the animal husbandry is good for Qin because he's got 2 animal husbandry resources at his start. And Peter, similar deal, double animal husbandry resources. So that's some pretty smart choices from them. Churchill's on hunting. That makes little sense. Alex is on archery because Alex is a bad AI leader. At least he does have the ivory that he can connect. So where they're heading. So let's look at these settlers. So as some of you predicted, Justinian does appear to be going for this seafood spot, not towards the center of the map. There were a couple people who put this in their predictions. They said he's going to go down here, and it looks like he's going to grab this spot. But is that really the worst thing? Zara's borders pop because he's creative. That's why. Creative culture. Is this really the worst thing? I mean, if he has fishing as his first research, he'll get the holy site culture. So he'll grab the crabs, and the holy site culture will also grab the copper early. Like in 20 turns, this will be in his borders. So I don't know if it's the best choice, but given that he has no agriculture, he has no hunting, he has no animal husbandry, he kind of is maximizing his food resources by going here. So it might not be as bad as it might look like. Also, holy site on the coast can easily spread if he prioritizes sailing. That's also an important point. So I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's not claiming land, but it's maybe not the worst thing. I don't know. All right, so over here, Peter's moving towards Churchill. Churchill's moving towards Peter. Qin is moving west. Zara is apparently also wants a coastal holy city. He looks like is he going to found here? Let's just advance a turn and see. Oh boy, this is not good. So the rice is going to be useless because it's under jungle. I mean, it's a great long-term spot, don't get me wrong. Post-ironworking, this is great, but it misses the fish like an idiot. And Holy City Culture is not going to be useful here any more than it's going to be useful here. Also, Justinian, why are you building a monument? Come on, dude. That's idiocy. Elsewhere, we have other early city. Yeah, it's reminiscent of Huayna Capac's first city from last round, but worse. Yeah. Other leaders. So Alex has grabbed this spot here. Alex very badly needs to research agriculture now. Just think if he were Shaka instead of Alex, and if he started with agriculture, like Shaka's starting techs are agriculture hunting. This would be a dream start for agriculture hunting, but instead he's off in La La Land researching archery instead of agriculture. That said, this is a pretty good spot. It's got the wet wheat, so that'll be a 4-food tile once it gets improved. It's going to grab these horses, so that's not going to Zara. I mean, Zara's got his own horses right here, so doesn't have to worry about that. But it does mean Alex is going to have early copper, early horses. So, and it claims land towards Greece. I mean, like that's not a lot of room for, or not Greece, towards Ethiopia. There's not a lot of room for Ethiopia to expand. And there's a lot of jungle up here too. So, meanwhile, over here, Churchill's grabbed a spot that is, again, decent long-term, but very jungly out of the gate. Not the strongest. Chin's grabbed a much better spot. He starts with agriculture by virtue of being China, and he's got a wet rice, so good spot. Moves towards Justinian. So, here's kind of the next key question. Who gets this resource cluster? If China grabs this, Justinian's in for a lot of hurting in this game. You would think Justinian will get there first because he's imperialistic, but that's not guaranteed. And last but not least, Peter hasn't settled yet. He's probably headed for this tile, but we'll see. Let's just advance a turn. All right, so he does grab this spot here. So this is pretty good. It's got the corn. It's a dry corn, but it's still a 5-food tile. Decent production, forest to chop, grabs copper. Looks pretty good. So in terms of the early metals, Peter's going to have copper, Alex will have copper, Justinian will have copper, none of the other leaders will, so they'll all have to go to ironworking, unless Churchill grabs the spot up here, which he might. So that's our start. Next up, we will see religions popping. Justinian just finished fishing tech, and he is indeed going on religion after that. No surprise there. I want to see if Alex is smart enough to go for agriculture next, which he should. All right, he is in fact smart enough to go for agriculture. Close up of bear. You want to see the bear unit? I mean, it looks like a bear. Let's see if I can find one that's not in the forest. I mean, here you go. There's some bear butts for you. Anyway, so yeah, the Greeks were at least smart enough. Oh, we're up to 200 now? Nice. Well, thanks to all of you for tuning in, by the way. We're just getting started. Hopefully you're in for a good game here. We've got this one just underway. So yeah, I was trying to point out Greece is smart enough to go for that. And let's see. Oh, Zara's made a mistake here. So Justinian's on the meditation train. Zara also going for a religion, but he's picked the wrong one. He didn't pick polytheism, he picked meditation. So he will have to, in 5 turns, he's going to lose it, and we'll see if he then goes for polytheism, which I suspect he will. But think about that. If he opens mysticism, half of meditation, and then all of polytheism, he's just putting himself so far behind because he does not have agriculture, he does not have animal husbandry, he does not have mining, he does not have bronze working. That is a rough start from a tech perspective. The starting techs, oh wait, no, does he have mining? The starting techs are what for Ethiopia? Oh, he does have mining. Starting techs are hunting, mining. So my mistake. I said the wrong thing. But still, no agriculture, no hunting, or no agriculture, no animal husbandry, no bronze working, and he's probably not going to have any of them until about turn 30, and that's a rough opening to the game. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like the Byzantines are getting some workboats out, as you'd expect. Not an early settler, though, so that's kind of significant. He had no tiles to mine. Good point. Yeah, he has no tiles to mine. Every hill tile's under jungle or forest, so he's not getting any benefit out of that. Well, let's advance a couple turns. This is an early settler from Chin, by the way. Again, if he sends this one west and grabs this resource cluster, Justinian is kind of in bad shape, but we'll see. It's probably more likely he'll send it east for this resource cluster, but that's not guaranteed. So, Justinian, why? Why the barracks? Why? Why the barracks? Anyway, he does found Christianity, as expected. So now, Zara's detouring. He's detouring off the polytheism train and he's going for agriculture. That is smart. That's a good pickup for him. But it does mean no early holy city for him. So Justinian's now going for hunting. So he did connect his fish. He should probably build a second workboat for the clams, but instead he's on that barracks. I don't know why he's on a barracks instead of a settler, but whatever. He'll hit the happy cap soon enough. And it is nice that he's spiritual so he doesn't waste. Oh, and look at this, look at this. So this is why I said I didn't think that this spot was that bad. He's building a workboat. He's actually going to connect his food resource here. So like I said, I don't think that that's terrible for him. We'll do a check-in on like turn 25 to see who has actually improved tiles at their capital and who has not. Where's Alex's worker? It's still in his capital. He just finished agriculture, so he'll start building that farm now. So we've got settlers on some of these AI leaders. We've got half-done settlers around here. So looks like York and Beijing will be the first ones to finish. Not Justinian, which is kind of interesting. And you'd think imperialistic would be the first one to get done, but that's the advantage of the early animal husbandry. Look at this really good capital from Chin here. We've got the double resources already connected, and then he farmed a floodplain, so he's getting 13 food hammers into his settlers. Very nice. Good start for him. Now the big question is again where he sends this settler. Also, we'll have to see how he deals with these archers, these barbarian archers, because he's getting a pretty steady flood of them coming up from the south. Like they could easily pillage some of these tiles. So settler's done. Where's it going? All right, heading to the east. Not towards Justinian. Good news for the Byzantines. Not as good news for the Greeks. So this has now been improved here. He's on mining, which is a smart pickup for him. He'll be able to mine some of these. We'll see if Alex then pushes for animal husbandry after that. Churchill is almost done with this settler at his size 1 city. Justinian really seems to want this barracks for some reason. Don't quite understand that. And he's on animal husbandry for his sheep. Churchill's on poly. Oh yeah, you guys caught it in the chat. Churchill was on. He is likely to get the religion. Yeah, we could have a game with 3 religions. Because Zara will try to find one. He's a very religious, intense AI. Like, he focuses religion pretty hard. All right, so here's something that's unlikely, but is possible. This settler is only being guarded by 1 archer, and there's a barbarian here. Now, on deity, which is what the settings we're using, the AI gets huge bonuses against barbarians, but it is not a guarantee. There's maybe like a 5% odds that this barb could attack, kill the archer, and then kill the settler. It looks like it did not end up attacking, but as I said, was a small chance of that happening. Looks like it backed out though. All right, so we've got a settler done here for Churchill. Let's see where it goes. Heading east, apparently. Again, like I said, it is not impossible that this could get grabbed by someone other than Zara, in which case you would have no medals at all. Not likely. I suspect that Zara will get that, but it is not a guarantee, as I said. And I actually like this spot for Chin a lot. He's got a wet corn. Iron is not a lot in the second ring, but I mean, this is like a good, solid early city. It'll get off the ground quickly. He even put it on the Plains Hill for the 2 production center tile. And since he starts with agriculture, he'll be able to connect that quickly. Already on pottery. So I think that's I really do like that start. Like, he's got a lot of improved tiles. We'll just advance 1 more. So here's turn 25. Just do a quick look. Who actually has improved tiles? So like we mentioned before, he's got double animal husbandry tiles improved. He has this tile improved. He's got the rice improved here, and this hill tile. So he's got, what, like 5 improved tiles on turn 25? That's pretty good. It's a lot better than some of these other AIs. So Justinian has the double seafood resources. Unfortunately, the imperialistic is not getting too much because he's actually heavy on food as opposed to production, but still looking pretty solid. 2 seafood resources done, is working these spice tiles, is on animal husbandry. He is about to connect this one. So I would say it's a decent, oh wait, no, he already did connect it. He's building another workboat. Okay, he already did connect this one. So it was a weird start for Justinian, but I think he's actually handling it okay thus far. Oh, there's already Barb City over here by Peter. So Peter has improved his 2 animal husbandry resources. He has not improved the wheat, though. So he apparently still is missing agriculture, it looks like. Where's Peter? He probably just picked up agriculture and has not, yeah, so he's farming it, but has not finished it. Still, I'd say this is a pretty solid start from Peter as well. His capital is going to be pretty strong. Churchill actually looking pretty good. He similarly has quite a few improved tiles. That's 4 improved tiles here. Off to a good start, and it looks like he's going to pick up the game's second religion. Now, this city's garbage, but it will be pumping out a lot of culture because it's going to be a holy city. Alex down here, not as good, but has 2 improved tiles. And he's got this. So I guess 3 total improved tiles. And Zara's the one who's struggling. He has 0 improved tiles. He's working on the rice, but that's it. And he has no improved tiles. And he's been building a settler while working a 2 production, 1 food forest tile. So, okay, buddy. Not a good start for him. He is definitely off to the weakest start. Don't be fooled by the score. He gets higher score from creative culture. Vandal spam for Justinian to conquer? Maybe. I mean, Peter's more likely to take it. It's much closer to Peter's territory, but we'll see. So that's kind of where we stand, 25 turns in. I would say Zara's start has not been executed especially well. So we do have some settlers out. We want to watch and see where they're going. So we've got this Churchill one heading east. We've got a settler from Alex that just finished. And we've got a Peter one that just finished. And we've got one that's about to finish for Justinian, but hasn't finished yet. So let's just watch where these are going. Now Churchill's on Stonehenge. This one's still heading east. I mean, let's say he drops this. Let's say he drops this here and builds Stonehenge. What does Zara do? I don't know. I'm curious, though. So that should be the religion popping up. He decided to take Confucianism, apparently. So York becomes a holy city. I try not to spend too much time on the zoomed out map because you can't see what people are researching. And now Zara's got his settler finished as well. So let's see where he decides to send this. He could try to go down here and grab this iron. It looks like Alex is heading towards the center of the map. Yeah, Churchill's charismatic, so Stonehenge is extra valuable for him. All right, so he plants a somewhat less aggressive spot, but a pretty good one. Stone, cows, corn. I think this is pretty good. I like this spot overall. It's going to be a strong city early on, a quick early contributor. And if he does build Stonehenge, then it'll be useful right off the bat. And of course, he'll get these tiles. Zara and now Alex is, he walked up in this direction. It looks like he was targeting this spot, then turned around and started walking in the other direction. So that settler's just wandering. Peter, meanwhile, on the other hand, is heading towards Churchill. I suspect he's going to try to grab this gold resource or settle directly on the gold. Okay, well, that's one way to connect it. He didn't really have enough food to work this tile, but it's kind of sad that he ended up wasting the gold by settling on it. But it does mean extra happiness for him, so there is that. A little silly. And it's a very good defensive spot. Like if Churchill attacks here, he's got the hill defensive bonus, but Churchill's borders are going to pop very quickly to 100 culture, and so this could be culturally pressured pretty hard. This could mean conflict between Peter and Churchill, because he's not going to like having that much border tension. All right, Alex grabs another spot that has a food tile in the first ring, so that's pretty good. He's about to get bronze working, so expect to see the early copper connection here, and then he'll likely start building phalanxes, and we'll see what he does with them. As far as Zara, where's he sending this? his settler is still standing in Gondar right now. And Justinian, we weren't watching him, but he did, in fact, get a settler out, and he planted it here. Now, this doesn't claim a lot of land, per se, but it's not that bad. It's a little low on production, but as long as its borders pop, and he grabs this and this, it actually gets much better with the border pop. So the monument is a decent pickup. What would be better is if he just spread his religion in there, but it's early enough in the game he doesn't have monasteries or organized religion. Now that Justinian's got all his seafood connected, he really should just spam settlers. We'll see if he does that. He's finally got this stupid barracks done that's a waste of time. He's usually pretty good at pushing out settlers. So, yeah, so now we'll just have to see who's next to get out a settler. Are there any on the map right now? There's Zara's, and that's it. So we're just kind of watching Zara to see where he sends this guy. And for the moment, the answer seems to be sending him nowhere, just standing in Gondar. You gonna move this thing, or are you just gonna sit there like an idiot? Okay, so far, sitting there like an idiot. I told you guys I didn't like Zara's start. That doesn't mean he's first eliminated, but I really didn't like his start. And he certainly is doing very little with it right now. That is not how you use a settler. So yeah, I mean, I picked him first to die. That's no guarantee by any means. Is this poor scout going to get whacked by this archer? No, is able to move out of the way. Move to one of these two tiles. So Alex now has bronze working. And Churchill picks up Stonehenge. Good opening for Churchill. He's doing well. He's got a lot of culture, and he's picked spots that are not dumb. I do not think he will be first eliminated, but we'll see, but he seems unlikely to be first eliminated. So this is more of what people want to see from Justinian, the fast settler. So he can pump them out pretty fast, especially if he starts whipping them, but I don't think he has bronze working yet. If he's smart, he'll head in that direction so he can start whipping his settlers. Peter's about to finish one settler as well. So we'll see where that goes. I was going to say I suspect down here, but there's enough resources in the north that I wouldn't be shocked if he went up in that direction either. And Chin's about to finish one too. So we've got a fair number of settlers coming out. And it looks like the Zara settler is finally moving. It's only escorted by warriors, though, so that could be a little dicey, but it'll probably be okay. Here it goes. I mean, meanwhile, Alex is like, I'm going to connect my... Geez, he's already built a fair number of archers, hasn't he? Well, if he goes after Zara early on, Zara is not really going to have much to fight back with. I mean, he still doesn't have animal husbandry yet. He's researching it now, but he's still, like, look at his capital. We're 38 turns into the game. He has farmed the rice, and that's it. And he's farmed some other random tiles, but he has no mines. He still does not have his animal husbandry resources connected. He doesn't have the stone connected. I mean, this is a disastrous opening for Zara. Really bad. And maybe he'll be able to recover from that, but where is he going? He's probably headed for this resource cluster here, the dyes and the gems, which will be useless until he has ironwork. Oh no, he found it on, okay. Well, I was not expecting him to found right there. I mean, this is basically guaranteed to cause conflict between him and Alex. The one thing I'll say in Zara's favor is the city's on a hill, which makes it much harder to capture. And he's creative, so we'll get that free culture. But Alex is not going to like that. In fact, let's do a quick check on diplomacy. So this guy's the worst enemy of Justinian. Ooh, because of the religious difference, and also Alex. I mean, maybe Alex goes for Churchill. Yeah, he doesn't like Churchill. Interesting that he's not more upset with Zara. We'll see. So yeah, Justinian does not like Churchill because of the religions. And that's about it thus far. I guess Alex doesn't like Churchill. Actually, Churchill seems to be fairly unpopular. Yeah, Warrior on a hill doesn't do a lot for Zara, that's right. So like if Phalanx is coming knocking and he doesn't have any units better than archers, chariots, and warriors, it could be rough. I mean, that's why I said Zara really needs to get up to ironworking, but I don't think he even has bronze working yet. No, he doesn't even have bronze working, so he might be medalless for quite a while. All right, so there were some other settlers on the map. Let's see if we can track where they're headed. So here's Peter. Peter founded north. There's actually now double barb cities up there. He founded at Rostov, which will give him another happiness resource, so not the worst. He does need to pop borders because there's no food until the city pops borders, but the ivory will be nice. I mean, between gold and ivory, he'll actually have decent early happiness, which is one of the things the AI struggles with. Justinian's getting another settler. Qin has one headed deep into the south. Where's this guy going? You couldn't have found a better spot than that, Qin? Really? That was the best spot you could pick? Are you sure that that's where you wanted your fourth city to go? This guy also really needs to research mysticism because he needs border pops pretty badly. Now he's suffering from lack of happiness. See how he has no luxuries at all? This is what's hurting him. He can't grow his cities to any larger sizes. The funny thing is, even though this city is garbage, if he had just planted it like, I don't know, here, it would still be garbage, but at least he could get the silver connected, and I don't know, at least that would be semi-useful. This is just absolute nonsense. There's no food here. This city's going to be stuck at like size 3. It's just a bad city. So I don't really know what to say. Don't know why he picked that spot. Very, very questionable. At least Zara is building another settler. I believe that there was one out for Churchill as well. Yeah. No, that's just a worker. No, okay, so this is a bad thing for Churchill. He's gotten stuck on wonder building. He's off in wonder mode right now. Temple of Artemis. Building barracks. Early barracks are one of the dumber things the AI builds. I really don't understand why Qin picked that spot either. It's a mystery to me. We know that the AI likes to settle for resources, so why that spot is beyond me. So here comes Justinian. He's got a settler out. He's got another settler in production. Again, this is why we like Justinian. And he's researching bronze working, which is key so he can start building metal units and get this connected. This city is actually kind of decent considering the tundra. It's actually not that bad, but bronze working is key just so we can start cutting down these forests and replacing them with actual mines. So Justinian was a little slow to start, but he's getting there now. So I thought there was one other settler out we were watching. No, I guess they all planted right now. We'll watch Justinian settler for that reason. Looks like he's going to go secure the horse supply. This would actually be a good spot because he could borrow this clams resource, or he could head up here and try to grab this. It looks like he does want to go for the horses. As long as he doesn't get locked out of the corner of the map, he just needs to make sure he gets up to like this region here. So we'll see if that actually happens. Oh, Qin's on Great Walls. Great Wall and pyramids. Oh man. See, this is the problem with this guy. He just likes wonders too much. Now, does he have the stone connected? I thought he had a stone. Nope. Oh, and then a barb city pops up right here. Well, that's kind of bad for Justinian because that's where he wanted to settle. So he's definitely going to grab this spot here. No surprise. Did he switch? No. See, he needs to switch over the clams, and he hasn't done that. This is one thing that Spiritual helps with, though. Look, he can build the early Christian temple and get another happiness size. So even though he has no luxuries, Christianity's helping. The religion's just helping him a lot because you get +1 happy for the religion itself, and as Spiritual, he can build a cheap temple and then get another happy face. He's got another settler in production here. Yep, I mean, Link Mario Samus was saying, told you Qin would stumble. I mean, I'm not surprised. None of these AIs are really that great, honestly. It's kind of a weak group of AIs. So there's Justinian getting bronze working as he flips into slavery. Peter is doing okay. He's expanding decently. I mean, if Peter gets these barb cities, he'll have a core of like 7 or 8 cities, which is pretty good. He also has the potential to get more up here. So I like Peter. I like Peter's position too. I don't like Zara's position. Alex just needs to finish building more cities. I mean, he's got a stack here, but if he doesn't build more than 3 cities... Oh, he's got an unescorted settler down here. Oh, no, never mind. He has an archer. I was like, is that an unescorted city? No. First build, phalanx. So there you go. The thematically appropriate China building the Great Wall. And then immediately following it up with more walls. Still, he'd probably do better to be expanding right now. If you want a quick little view of the Great Wall. one of the cooler looking wonders in Civ4. I love the way it wraps around your borders. Like, yeah, we're going to defend this forest. Going to make sure nobody gets these cows. Anyway, so these gigantic cows. Anyway, enough silliness. Justinian sailing. I think I spotted that in the chat. Justinian on sailing means his religion has a good chance of spreading, and he can get his capital up to size 6 now. Believe he just finished a settler down here, didn't he? He's got quite a few barbarians. Yeah, he just finished a settler. He's got quite a few barbarians, but I don't know if they're going to achieve that much. Oh no, don't go for this. Don't go for the tundra, Justinian. You need to get in the middle of the map. Oh well. He's also building the Oracle for some reason. He's like, no, don't go for the tundra. There's nothing you want down here. Go grab a city over here. Oh wow. Yeah, these barbarian cities are too well defended. Justinian tundra adventures. But I mean, the thing about Justinian is he's just good at expanding. Like, he prioritizes expansion pretty hard, so that's enough to make him a pretty capable leader just based off of pure expansion alone. Even if he picks dumb spots first, eventually he'll pick the smarter spots. Or that's the thinking anyway. There's already a little stack right here. I mean, if he just slammed like half a dozen phalanxes into this city, would Lalibela be able to hold? I don't know. Like, there's one archer in this city. I guess we'll find out. Well, let's look at the bar graphs here, because we're on turn 50. So GMP, not surprisingly, the religious leaders are on top. Big spike for Alex recently. Production, not enough to see too big of a difference this early in the game. Food, Zara is in last. He's the one who's really struggling. Power, Alex is first, Zara's last. Again, the value of early metals connected. Culture, a huge spike when Churchill finishes Stonehenge. Otherwise, it's just the religions. That's about it. We'll just check research rate real quick. Justinian 16, Zara 8, Alex 12, Churchill 12, Peter 11, Chin 13. So Justinian's actually the early tech leader too, because he's working all those seafood tiles, somewhat surprisingly. We'll see if he goes for the quick lighthouse. All right, so that's where we are, 50 turns into the game. And that just reinforces what we just looked at, that Alex is most powerful currently. I mean, he might be plotting war already against somebody. Yeah, he is. I mean, that's Alex for you. Like I said, I wanted to see this. Churchill's his worst enemy, so if he goes after Churchill, that would be kind of dumb. If he goes after Zara, that would be pretty smart, because Zara is very weak. Although Churchill does have a very exposed city here with one archer on defense. So we'll see. I mean, you can see the stack gathering here. Now, how about Churchill? Does he have metals? Because I don't think he does either. He needs to get iron working. He doesn't even have bronze working, so he doesn't even have slavery civic right now. So yeah, maybe Churchill could be first to die here. I am hoping for my pick that he goes after Zara. So Zara looks like he is going to settle this iron. There it goes. But where does Zara go from here? I mean, this is 4 cities. I don't see where he expands after this. I think he's kind of stuck on these 4 cities, personally. So, yeah. Now let's see where the domestics are. All right, so there is a Greek settler down here. There's a Chinese and Byzantine settler over here. So we should probably watch this potential settling race over here between these two. I'm going to go back to the domestics tab so we can see the units highlighted. Oh, they are very close to one another. Now, Justinian moves first in turn order, so if he settles here, this is going to be, because I think Chin is definitely going to take this spot. Let's see if Justinian wants this spot, or if he gets bounced. Nope, he got bounced. He was too greedy. He could have settled there, but he got bounced away. That's kind of bad by Justinian letting Chin grab this spot, because it kind of locks him out of the center of the map. This Barb City popping up here is pretty bad for him. So the Justinian train might be slowed down a little bit until he can clear out some of these. He'll probably settle down here. And look, there's a decent fallback spot here, but definitely hurts Chin grabbing this spot. I would agree. I'd say Chin's doing pretty well too. Although he is starting to run out of room to expand. You know, Churchill being so unpopular, even though Churchill's executed a good opening, he is not popular diplomatically. He's the worst enemy of 3 people. So if they all come after him, he probably folds pretty quickly and is first to die. All right, so we'll keep an eye on where the Justinian settler goes. And there's a Greek settler running around somewhere too. Is it? Oh no, it just found it down here. Okay, not a very good city. Also, founding it undefended is pretty questionable, but at least he did get out to a 5th city. There's still room for a good city over here for either Ethiopia or Greece. I mean, with the number of units right here, if this stack just walks up to Lalibela, the city's going to die, like, instantly. Phalanxes and spears will easily destroy anything that's in there. Yeah, Churchill's still on 3 cities. I believe he has a settler out somewhere. Yeah, he has a settler down here. Yeah, he has a settler here, but, I mean, that's not exactly high-quality land. If I'm mostly watching Alex, it's because I still am expecting him to attack someone. Either Churchill or Zara. Again, it would be smarter for him to go after Churchill. And it does look like the Justinian settler, not surprisingly, went for this spot. This is important because it locks down iron, which is needed for cataphracts. So it does claim this iron. Also, remember, Qin apparently still doesn't have mysticism, so that's why his cities aren't popping borders. Yeah, he still doesn't have mysticism, so. We have yet to see a religious spread. I wouldn't be shocked to see Justinian's religion start spreading. He now does have sailing. Going to pick up the lighthouse and have disgusting food here. Does need to chop down some of those forests, though. And maybe we'll see if he tries to settle in the southern tundra, too. Let's reveal the map so we can get notifications. We'll see, because Justinian's starting to run out of room. Who gets this city, by the way, is going to be pretty important. That's a tough city to take, though, because it's on a hill. Probably needs swords to take it down. Whereas, like, this city is not on a hill. You can kill this with, like, just axes. But the ones on a hill, you kind of need swords to have a realistic shot of taking them. Yeah, Zara's got all of his units up here. They are mostly warriors, though. And just like keep watching this stack to see if it's going to go anywhere. All right, so Churchill with the double early wonders. In the middle of the map. Oh, I never got a screenshot of the map on turn 50. Well, we'll take it here on turn 60 then. This is useful to give like an overview for the reporting later. Quite a few barbed cities in this game. So Peter's ramming chariots and city raider warriors. Okay. City Raider warriors into this one. Doesn't seem to be having a ton of success. City Raider warriors. That's when you might want to rethink those picks a little bit. So yeah, I mean, Justinian has claimed, he has gotten a decent number of cities out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, he's on 6 cities. He's running out of territory to expand. But he does have 6. I guess this is a relatively recent city here from Qin. I guess Qin's also on 6. Greece on 4, or 5, excuse me. Ethiopia on 4. England on 4. And Russia on 5. Russia has room for another pretty strong city over here. I guess there's not a lot of food. This poor city is getting squeezed unmercifully. Might want to get some actual culture in there, buddy. Because London's going to hit 500 culture pretty soon, and then that city will be a legit risk of flipping once that happens. So here's a little stack. Let's see where this is headed. Apparently it's headed to attack Zara. So there's our first war of the game. And there is one there is one archer on defense. So this is not looking good. Let's mark that down. First war. So I did kind of think that this would happen. I mean, it's on a hill, but one archer is not going to survive against multiple phalanxes, and that chariot's not going to do a darn thing because you've got like a spear that can attack it. So this city should fall. Yep. And that may be the beginning of the end for old Alex. Or not Alex, for old Zara. because he does not have metals, and I don't see how he survives with no metals. I mean, he just planted another city up here on the northern coast, but if he loses this city, the game's over because he'll have no metals. He does have bronze working, but he does not have iron working. And like that's the problem. He'll build a lot of chariots, he'll build a lot of archers, but chariots are a terrible matchup against phalanxes. Phalanxes don't take phalanxes get a bonus against chariots, so I just don't see what is this stack going to do? It's a chariot and 5 warriors. Like, what's that going to do? One phalanx could kill probably every unit there if it's on defensive terrain. So, does Zara have bronze working? I believe he does. Let's just check. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh no. Oh no, he is so dead. He doesn't have bronze working. Not only does he not have iron working, he doesn't even have bronze working. He has no slavery civic. Oh my god. He's so dead. Oh my lord. Okay. Well, no, he has archery because we can see archers, but wow. Yeah, so that is a bad sign. Well, I mean, it's not guaranteed that he's first to die, but I wouldn't say it's looking good. So let's look at their neighbors. How does Churchill feel about these guys? Well, Churchill does not like Alex, although he's worst enemy of Peter. So the real question is, like, would Chin or Churchill try to jump into this war? Because Zara can't win this war on his own. He's dead if the war goes on. But Churchill or Chin could jump into this war. Chin, how does he feel about these guys? He's cautious towards Alex. Churchill's annoyed, so Churchill would be the most likely, but I don't think Churchill's very strong either. I mean, he has no metals connected either. He needs to research ironworking, which he doesn't have yet. I mean, and his struggle looks like it's more with Russia than with... Looks like it's more with Russia than with Greece, but who knows? I mean, these Russian cities... and this seems practically designed to cause conflict between these two. So yeah, that's a thing. Anyway. So meanwhile, I'm mostly going to watch this war. I don't know what this stack thinks it's going to do. City Raider Warriors? Like, lol? So he moved them up in this direction. I think the Chariot attacked and just committed suicide. So, oh, Peter only just got bronze working. No wonder he's struggling. He needs to... Oh, you know what? Peter's an idiot who doesn't research mysticism, so that's part of the problem. Yep, Peter does not have mysticism. So even though he has a copper resource right here, he's not using it because it's not within his borders, like a moron. All right. Well, Justinian is at least actually building military. He is most likely to take this city, but we'll see. Apparently there's a city garrison, 2 archers somehow. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on all that, but for right now, I think we're more focused on this war. Where is Alex going to go next? None of these cities are well defended at all. And Tsar's going for masonry. Okay, well, that would allow him to build walls, so that's not a worthless decision. But, like, his capital has an archer and a warrior in it right now, and his capital is not on a hill, so he could very easily lose his capital. Or Alex could shuffle his units around like an idiot. Okay. I mean, Churchill's got a lot of culture right now. Poor Peter is struggling behind all this culture. He's also throwing his units at these barbs and not having a lot of success so far. So the phalanx is a little rough because they look so much like spears, but this is in fact a phalanx. It's the shield is what you can tell. They've got kind of that Spartan aesthetic going on, but they do look a lot like spears. So yeah, the longer this war goes on, the more likely Zara is going to be able to counter things. But I mean, like I said, there's 1 archer and 1 warrior. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Okay, so 2 important things going on there. Apparently just a random wandering stack of a phalanx and spear captured this city, cutting off Zara from any metal, which means he is 100% dead. And we also had Peter convert to Churchill's religion, not Justinian's religion, so could also be highly significant. Churchill definitely wants to pick up some allies. Justinian kind of needs his religion to spread. It would be helpful for him if it spread to like Qin, so he could potentially pick up an ally. Meanwhile, he's just building away. Oh, he actually founded a city down here. Why? Why would? Oh, he founded double cities down here. What the? Why here? Why this spot? Why not here where you have a seafood resource? Why? Oh well. So yeah, Justinian's economy has to be struggling a little bit, but again, because he's founding more total cities, in the long run he should be stronger. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities. He's also apparently, they're also apparently pretty unhappy. He needs to get some happiness resources. He would benefit a lot from Calendar, but he's a million miles away from Calendar right now. He was building the Oracle, but he canceled that. If he could Oracle Monarchy, that would be really good for him. But anyway, yeah, we've got this attack that's marching on the Ethiopian capital, which, by the way, is building a settler. And I believe he still doesn't have bronze working. Is that right? Yeah, no bronze working, so no whipping. Can't whip units to defend himself. He's got an archer and a warrior. I mean, even though this stack is mostly spears, spears are better than warriors. I mean, I think this city's dead. I don't really see how it survives. Yeah, I mean, this is it. This might be one of the earliest conquests we've ever seen in AI Survivor history. Just a totally dead Civ. And I don't want to, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but who called it? This guy. No. I was like, yeah, I don't think Zara is going to do well in this game. I think Alex is going to attack him, and it's gone better than I actually could have thought. Zara has no archery. Is that right? His archers were from oh, you're right. He doesn't have archery. Huh. Those archers were the presets from the beginning of the game. I actually missed that. So he has no archery. He has no bronze working. So all he can build are chariots and warriors. No wonder he's getting his behind kicked here. He can build chariots and warriors. Ugh. That's not an inspiring mix. So yeah, Alex is going to be pretty strong here. Maybe we have a runaway Alex this game. That would certainly be a surprise. Runaway Alex. Yeah, he lost his horses too, because they're outside his borders. Now he can't even build that. All he can build is warriors now. Literally all he can build is warriors. Well, I mean, he can build city walls, but if you can't build units other than warriors, it's not likely to go well. I mean, these units are just going to heal up and walk into this city and take it. There's nothing that can stop them. I mean, spears are pretty lousy attacking units, but they're better than warriors, and they'll do well against the chariot. So this is over. I mean, this is one of the most incompetent performances we've ever seen from Zara. Jeez. Oh, man. I'm just trying to, check in on what's going on elsewhere on the map, but I mean, the real story is just Ethiopia completely committing suicide in this game. This city is, I guess, never mind. I was going to say it's down to just one archer, but I'm wrong. There were more. This city's down to 2, though. Peter's making some progress there. All right, well, the whole Zara got lucky in Season 1 train is definitely seeing some more evidence. Phalanx and spears. I see no way this city can survive. Awful nice of Zara to give Alex all this extra territory. So 1 city's left. I mean, it's on a hill, but I mean, he's researching sailing, so yeah, that's a thing that's happening. A lot of interest in this city. 1 archer was killed in here with somebody getting a lucky dice roll. Chin tossed some more units, but did not kill anything. He just promoted the defenders. Like I said, probably needs swords to capture that city. But Justinian is researching ironworking, and he's on Oracle. Again, if he Oracles, the smart thing he should Oracle would be Monarchy, because he needs happiness. It's his biggest need right now. But given his religious preferences, he will probably go for... Oh, no, wait, he can't go for Theology. He doesn't. It's not available. He'll go for Metal Casting or Monarchy, but Monarchy would be the smarter choice. Anyway. So we'll keep checking back in over there. Here comes the remainder of the stack. 4 phalanxes and 2 spears. All right, so Russia did take that Barb City. Nice pickup for them. Like I said, that one was not on a hill, so it was likely to be the first one to fall. This city also is pretty vulnerable. Apache, not so much. Chin needs to get a better unit than Chariots to throw at that spot. Maybe Axes can take it. Maybe. All right. But back to the main focus over here. Yeah, I mean, Gondar is stacking warriors, but... All right, and Chin has picked up Justinian's religion. Could be really important, because the two of them working together... Like, the biggest thing... What Justinian always tries to do is get a bunch of allies for his religion. Oh, and he's about to pick up Oracle something, too. Justinian always tries to get a bunch of allies for his religion, and if he can manage that, then he often does well. Oh, take a picture of Zara's tech tree before he dies, of course. Yep. I mean, it's pretty epic. No bronze working, no archery, no iron working. I guess he got animal husbandry, but he picked it up very late. Like, he didn't have animal husbandry until almost turn 50. So that's it. A turn 80 elimination. Man. So we'll check to see what Justinian picked up with the Oracle in a second. But that is maybe our earliest elimination. I have to go back and look, but turn 80 might be our earliest elimination ever. It's in the running. That is an obscenely early elimination. It is. People are saying it is by 24 turns. Beat Wang Khan's rush last year by 24 turns. All right, well, we got a new record. If you're watching, you just saw Civ4 AI Survivor history. I mean, for what that's worth, but earliest elimination by a wide margin, by 24 turns, people are saying. All right, well, let's put that in the spreadsheet. Did that pop up here? All right, first to go is Zara. Even if I get nothing else right about this game, I am very happy that I landed that. So I'll at least get some points out of this game. Zara first out. Zara, you will not be a seeded leader next year after that pathetic showing. Turn, what was it, 80? Oh, apparently caps lock is on. Turn 80. Oh my God, that's so early. He really bungled this opening, and Alex gets a kill. I think Alex is one of the favorites to win now. He's picked up a lot of land. And that's the thing about those conquerors. If they get off to a big start, then it can really snowball because they just keep building units, basically. And if they manage to snowball into a position of being ahead, it can be pretty scary. All right, so we had... 145 over. We had 29 people pick Zara as first to die. 29 out of, so it was maybe like 12 to 13% had it. So I wouldn't say it was too popular, but I mean, I don't think that what happened was an expected outcome by any means. That was just unbelievably pathetic. All right, so first down, one down. We'll see how many to go. But Alex certainly is looking pretty strong. By the way, he's also beelining construction. So, yeah, look at this. Beelining construction. So this is why Alex usually fails as a leader, is he doesn't prioritize anything economic. But, like, he's going to have way more cities than anyone else, and he's going for early construction. So he could very easily just roll over this map and have an early domination win, which would be bad for me because I picked a late spaceship win. But I don't know. We'll see. If he wins in Peter's second, I get points for that. We'll see. It's still pretty early. And this is Alex, who's not the most competent leader. Oh, so the other thing we needed to check was what tech Justinian oracled. He went for monarchy. He picked a smart choice. He picked up monarchy. That's really big because now he will be able to stuff a bunch of units in his cities and grow them to much larger sizes. This might be the winning move. This could be a winning move in the game for him because his economy is going to be so much stronger as a result. Really smart. Justinian slingshotting. I know some of you saw the hereditary rule pop up, but the AI loves to stack its cities full of units, so he will get a ton of happiness out of this. Now he just needs to get more territory because it looks like Chin's in the driver's seat to get this city Apache if he chooses to attack, which he did not there. And he's also picked up the early shrine. No surprise because I'm sure he was running a bunch of priest specialists. All right, so yeah, Justinian is well positioned. He just needs more territory. That's all he needs. He's actually executed the early game pretty well with the one mistake of not getting this spot. It's the only kind of error he's made. Let's look at diplomacy actually real quick, because I'm curious. So he is cautious towards Alex, doesn't cautious towards Justinian. He likes Qin, and he won't declare war at pleased, so he will not attack China. As far as Qin goes, he is also pleased with Justinian, pleased with Peter. Those of you in the chat, does anyone know, does Qin declare war at pleased? He's not an AI I'm super familiar with, so I don't know if he declares it pleased or not. I know that Alex does. I'm pretty confident. He can? Okay. So that means he could attack Justinian, although he's more likely to attack Churchill or Alex. And then Churchill doesn't like Alex. Well, I mean, Alex's natural next move is to go after Churchill, who, by the way, also does not have medals. Oh, wait, yes, he does. He must have ironworking done, because I see a sword here. Okay, so it would not be as easy of a target. If you're on the Alex train, what you want to see is him teching to construction, consolidating here for a little while, and then after he techs to construction, then hitting someone else with catapults before they can fight back. Churchill would be ideal, because Churchill's got built quite a few wonders already. Like Stonehenge would be really nice for Alex, seeing as how Alex does not have mysticism yet. So capturing Stonehenge would be awful nice if he could manage it. Anyway, so yeah, right now we're just still kind of waiting to see when more conflict will break out. Peter is still kind of tangling with the Barb City, so he doesn't seem eager to fight Churchill or someone else right now. There's still this standoff at Apache. Although it looks like more... Nope, never mind. Qin turned around. He's still building up units over there. Justinian is building some swords, or at least a sword. Like I said, swords are the only units that get decent odds against archers in a city on a hill. Qin is still suffering badly. See, his problem is unhappiness. He had a good early game, but he doesn't have any happiness resources, so that's why he's hurting right now. Oh, wow. So Peter just gifts the city over to Churchill, and then this city is revolting, so this city might flip as well. Just got swallowed up by English culture. Not great by Peter there. At least Alex has libraries, that's true. He does have libraries, so he is getting culture from some of them. Like Aksum just popped its orders off a library. So, and now another religion being founded there. Okay, so we have another Barb City going to Peter. That pretty much ends room for Peter to expand unless he gets the city of Apache. And what was the other thing? Oh, and we had another religion founded for Justinian, which he won't spread, but this does mean that he is going to have organized religion, which will allow him to spread his religion. I'm sure he will pop into organized religion on this turn and then start spreading his religion around. But Churchill gets the Pyramids prize. Nope, actually, Justinian did not pop into organized religion. Oh, maybe he's still on the cooldown for hereditary rule. I think that's why. Yeah, I think he still needs to wait out the 5-turn cooldown for hereditary rule. So yeah, Churchill did get Pyramids. Again, he's got a lot of stuff that would be very valuable for someone else to capture. Look at this city here, crammed in there. So yeah, 9 turns to construction. So yeah, Alex is doing a good job of consolidating. A very peaceful game aside from that war. No one else has attacked yet. He's already plotting against another target though, so either Churchill or Qin. I suspect Churchill is his next target, but he's already plotting again. He will have construction pretty soon. I mean, I don't really see what stops... He apparently let a Barb City pop up here. I don't really see what stops Alex, given how many cities he has, and high-quality cities, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 10 cities. If he adds... if he has catapults, too, I don't really see what stops him from just rolling right over Churchill. If he has catapults, which he's likely to have. We'll see, though. He might not be attacking... there at all. More chariots randomly outside the city. It looks like somebody attacked and killed one archer. Couldn't get the other one, though. There's also the fact that if this city, even if it's not captured by Byzantium, it might just end up in their control anyway, because it's going to be culturally pressured. A lot of people outside this city. There is a... well, that didn't take too long, did it? So there it is. Alex is right back on the warpath. He does not have construction yet. So let's look at the power bar graph. Okay. Yep, that would be a leader that's just getting out of control at a very early date. Not even turn 100 yet. This could end up being a really short game, which is not what I was predicting, but this could be a very short domination game. And yeah, he just blew right through that city. Like it wasn't even there. Churchill doesn't have that much territory. And he's 3 turns from construction at a time when no one else is close to the tech. He did pick up Confucianism, though. And the Russians actually took that city. Huh. Justinian, looks like Justinian killed all but one of the defenders. So not great for Justinian that city got picked up. We could see some conflict between Justinian and Peter over this city, particularly because they have different religions. Although it looks like he's most upset about Alex right now. Doesn't really like Peter, though, -3. So Peter did end up capturing like every Barb city, and now Churchill's snuck in another city up here. Turn 200 domination victory. I mean, we have seen a domination win as early as like turn 250. It's a lot of units there. That said, this city has walls, so not going to fall instantly, but those catapults aren't too far off. Oh, well, this is not great for Justinian. The fact that he's now the only one practicing his religion. He needs to get some units out and some missionaries out and start spreading it. It looks like he's plotting war, though, against somebody. No, he's not. Yeah, see, that stack got shredded because it did not... it was attacking a city with walls. Like I said, he needs the catapults, but once he has them, it's hard to see much stopping him. Although he's a... And the funny thing is, it looks like he went for them because he wanted his unique building, the Odeon, which is not a bad choice for him. +2 happiness. I mean, it's not like it's expensive to build, 45 production. The extra happiness is legitimately going to help him here. Get his cities to larger sizes. But it looks like he went for construction because he wanted his unique building more than anything. This city could even get recaptured because it's not very well defended. Probably not, though. So this does buy time for other leaders. Oh, by the way, Alex did not apparently have animal husbandry. This does buy time for other leaders to catch up while Alex is engaged in this war with Churchill. Like I said, I think Churchill dies before the game's over, but I also think he can stretch out this war for a while with the protective trait. Maybe not once catapults are on the scene, though. And there are definitely some in production. So, like, again, the value of early hereditary rule, he gets his capital to size 14. Yes, there's 3 unhappy faces, but still. Oh boy, look at all those units in there. Peter's apparently decided to reinforce that city. But Justinian's going for construction, so if he gets into a war, he'll be able to take cities with it. And meanwhile, the fighting just goes on over here as we hit turn 100. Boy, that's one of the most eventful first 100 turns I think I've ever seen. And it just got more interesting. All right. Churchill getting attacked. Not what Churchill wanted. So Chin has decided to jump in with a bunch of swords. Does he have construction? Let's just check real quick. I don't think China has construction. No, he's headed for calendar first. Yeah, Alex is top, or Justinian is tops in score for the moment. He is not in as strong of a position. It's in part because he has a lot of larger city sizes. He's not going to attack any. He won't declare war until he deals with this Barb city. That's what his focus is right now. He actually has a lot of swords walking down here, but after the Barb city's done, we might see an attack there. So let's do our check of the bar graphs because we're on turn 100. GMP, Churchill's been leading. Again, a lot of that I think is culture. Alex has been slowly increasing. Chin's in last right now. Production, Alex is not surprisingly in first. This is a golden age, so don't put too much stock in this. Justinian's actually in last in production. Food, it's kind of these three, Alex and Justinian and Peter. Chin is just being crippled by lack of happiness. Justinian would be in a similar shape, but like look right here, this is when he gets hereditary rule in place and just his cities can start growing. It's as simple as that. He can start growing his cities because he has enough happiness. Churchill also is struggling, but it's not a lack of happiness. He just doesn't have enough cities. Alex is clearly in first in power. The others are all pretty close. And then culture, as you'd expect, Churchill's many wonders are what's tops in power. We'll also look at research rate real quick. Justinian is at 54, Alex 48. Alex is only on 30% research though, so he has a lot of room to improve that. Churchill 42. What was Justinian? 54. Peter 53. Chin. All right, so the leaders are right around 50. Alex is keeping pace. They're actually all pretty close. I wouldn't say any of them are researching especially fast right now. Justinian is apparently most advanced. So here comes this stack here. York is not very well defended. This could absolutely be taken because all the English units are over here fighting against the Greeks. And here comes the catapults rolling in. Would have been smarter to wait until the catapults got there before throwing your whole stack away. But that's Alex for you. He'll have catapults for the next attack. Meanwhile, over here, 1 axe, 1 spear, 1 archer, 2 chariots. This is a city on a hill with 60% defenses, though, so I don't know. I don't know if this works, even though it looks numerically like it would. It's going to depend on what the dice rolls are against the axe and the archer. That axe could kill a lot of units. But if you get one good dice roll and get some hits on that axe, the city will fall. It looks like he chose not to attack at all, which is a mistake because it gives more time to rally units in here to defend. So, not a good decision there. This city is wisely going to try to build a monument to push back against this culture. These two really look like they're going to come into conflict over here. Justinian's building Great Lighthouse. Okay. Still, the main focus of the fighting right now is right in this area. Hell, I guess Chin wasn't focused on York. I guess he was going for London, or apparently. I don't know why, but that apparently is where he's headed to. Peter plotting? Good question. He is plotting war. So who is he unhappy with? Well, he doesn't like Justinian very much. He also doesn't like Churchill. This could be a three-way dogpile on Churchill, or he could attack Justinian. It could be either. I see Justinian's already spamming the missionaries to try to get some converts. There's a good chance he'll be able to convert Chin here. So Chin has, let's see the religious lens real quick. So 1 Christian city right now, and he has 4. Yeah, so it's gonna take more missionaries for Justinian to get him to convert, but he'll keep spamming them. So there's a decent chance he will. I still don't know where this stack is going. I guess it's going to London. Kind of foolish. Unfortunately for Justinian, the Barb city he takes is a size 1 location, but he got Great Lighthouse, which is, I mean, that's something. He actually has quite a few coastal cities. That's better than normal wonder, because look how many coastal cities he has. Turn off the resources here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's a decent. That makes this city like worth building, honestly, because it's a garbage city. I don't know why he's building a sword here. He needs a lighthouse. That's what this city needs, is a lighthouse. Also, I still cannot believe that he situated this 1 tile away from the fish, 1 tile off from the crabs. I mean, why? Just why would you put the city there? You can put it here and it's still on the river if that's what you cared about. I don't get it. So like this city has actually built Granary Lighthouse, and this is going to be a pretty good city. He'll be able to grow this, I mean, and just work water tiles, and it'll be a decent fishing village. Even better once he gets to optics, even though that's a long way away at this point. But like, this is a decent city. All you need is some kind of food bonus, and you got a decent city. Yeah, imagine building Moai, right? You should probably build it in his capital, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Justinian, even though he's small on land. He's been pretty effective in this game. He just needs to take over some more territory somewhere. Well, let's watch Qin stack suicide itself for no reason against the walls of London. So he apparently decided not to attack. Here comes the new Alex stack, and this time he brought catapults. So this time he's going to have success. Yeah. So that's why Churchill is probably dead, because sooner or later he's going to, Alex will take the walls down, and once that happens, the city's dead. That's a lot of catapults, especially once the catapults apply collateral damage. I mean, it does look like this could just be a runaway Greek game. Yeah, Nottingham's lost all of its defenders. That was a very bad turn. And Qin is still wandering this stack around. It looks like it lost some of its members. But the Chinese side of this is just a distraction. It's Greece that's actually taking the cities. So, I mean, we're still only on turn 110. Alex is just really starting to get out of control in this one. And Alex has picked up Justinian's religion. Okay. Interesting. Maybe some of the missionaries were going over to Greek territory. Oh, you know what it is? It's because he picked up Nottingham, which had that religion. So now it's, yeah. So how do they feel about each other now? Still not enough to get to pleased. Only cautious here. And on the other end, yeah, only still cautious between the two of them. But that, if this is Alex plus Justinian, it could be a real Greek game. Yeah, it could be. If it's the two of them together, then they're going to be 1-2 in some order. The problem is Alex will declare it pleased, so it's unlikely he will get up to friendly. Another religion founding down here. That must be the theology religion, or is that code of laws? I think that was the theology religion. No, it wasn't. What religion was that? Oh, I'm on the wrong. No, it was code of laws, huh? Justinian going for more of an economic path with those courthouses. He also got the borders to pop here, so this city, I guess, is not a flip risk because there's too many units in it, but certainly does not have a lot of tiles to work. Kind of a confusing part of the map with these borders over here. And it looks like the Chinese stack got completely cleaned up, so it's pretty much just the Greeks walking around. Oh yeah, and there was a Russian city in the far north, and it's a good one. It's a fishing village with actual fish, like a real fishing village. It's a pretty good one. So yeah, Peter was apparently plotting war, but we still don't know who it was with. He originally, I mean, remember, this city and this city were originally Russian cities. Think how strong Peter would be if he had continued to control them. But instead, it's Greece that just seems to be totally out of control in this game. This stack here doesn't have a catapult in it. Now there's catapult a tile behind. Let's see if they suicide or if they wait for the catapult to catch up. All right, looks like they committed suicide. Or no, maybe they walked down here. One catapult. And it looks like Churchill was the one who... Oh, all right, so it's full dogpile on Churchill time. War number 4. Full dogpile on Churchill time. Could provide an opportunity for Justinian, though, if he wanted to go after... He's cautious with everyone right now. If he wanted to go after Peter, he certainly would have an opportunity here, because Peter's forces are going to be heading off to deal with Churchill. It looks like he was bought into this war. I don't think this was a war Peter was plotting. It looks like he was bought into it, because he doesn't have any stack charging over the border into English territory. Also, does Russia have construction tech? He does not. So he is also likely to be pretty ineffective. Alex has put together his next monster stack down here. I suspect this will easily run over whatever city it targets next, and it looks like that's going to be London. You want help against Russia? Are you sure you don't want help against Greece? Here comes the... All right, so there's a pretty good stack from Peter. Probably looking to get Novgorod back. Yeah, Justinian just seems to be doing peaceful stuff right now. That is a tasty wonder that someone else might pick up from Qin. So yeah, right now it's mostly just the advancing Greek hordes. Although we do have separate attacks here. We have this attack here and that attack there, with Novgorod getting captured. So it looks like Churchill is not long for this world. As I said, we could have just an absurdly early domination victory because Alex is already at 23% land area, 31% population. And it's with as aggressive as he is, it's hard to see him stopping until as he just continues cutting through everybody in range. Maybe I can get, if Alex wins, maybe I can get points for Peter second. I guess that's in play. I mean, I would say at this point it's Alex's game to lose. I mean, look, he's got elephants in play now too, as if what he already had wasn't disgusting enough. No one else is going to be able to defend against that, and he's going for currency. I mean, he's plowing over cottages over here for no reason, but like his core is well developed, and he has so much territory. Like, look at these resources. Look how much happiness and health he has. So his cities can just grow like crazy, as opposed to, I guess everybody has connected some resources now, but like Qin definitely doesn't have as many. So he is, I mean, he's really just running over the game at this point. And he just picked up a lot in that city. He picked up Stonehenge, I guess not that much. Stonehenge, Temple of Artemis. He did pick up a lot of great people. Merged great generals and Temple of Artemis stuff. So yeah, I mean, we're only 120 turns into this game, and England appears to be rapidly on its way out. Now Qin is converted too. So it does appear as though Justinian's getting people to convert to his religion by spamming them with missionaries, as he likes to do. I don't suppose he's plotting war by any chance. Oh, he is plotting war. All right. Well, Peter does not have his religion, so I suspect that's the most likely target, but it's still not guaranteed. Like, while Russia's armies are all fighting in England. So it's mostly just watching that huge Greek stack walk around from city to city, taking whatever it wants. I would say if you picked domination for this game, you are looking a lot better than people who picked space, like I did. Or this could be attack on Qin for all we know. I mean, or I guess it can't be an attack on Qin because he's pleased, but I think he started plotting when they weren't pleased, so who knows. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Like, there's a lot of Russian and Chinese units around York, and it's a valuable city because it's got a shrine in it. It's the Confucian Holy City. So someone attacked this, but it looks like Alex is just going to sweep up the rewards unless we have an unlikely capture from one of the other two AIs, because now he's got the big stack. Does he have any catapults in this stack? Because it doesn't look like he does, but he has a lot of units. I don't know, we'll see. I know I say that a lot. Yeah, he just attacked because he didn't have any catapults, and he killed a lot of the units, even though this is a city on a hill with huge defensive bonuses. So those units will all promote, but Alex will get to attack and promote first. Promote first and attack, so let's see if he has enough. He did. He is running over this game. It's going to be interesting to see if Alex ultimately chooses Christianity or Confucianism, because if he picks Confucianism as his religion, which he's probably more likely to do because he has the shrine now, if he picks Confucianism, he's probably going to just keep attacking Qin and maybe Justinian. If he stays with Christianity, he's more likely to side with Justinian and attack Peter. but I think it's more likely that he goes into Confucianism because he picked up the shrine, and the AI prefers to run self-founded religions if possible, which that is now something he has. Still, we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty much like real Alex. Yeah, it's pretty much like the real Alexander the Great, just running over everyone at a super early date. A timely moment for Canterbury to pop its borders. Oh, but apparently this city was captured. I didn't even know that there was a stack up there. Jeez, buddy. I didn't even know you were going for that spot. Well, Churchill's gone very soon. Not long for this world. Needless to say, the China did not get... Oh, okay. Well, this is a good move from Justinian. Picking a good moment to go after Qin. Yeah, so he wouldn't declare war at pleased, but he had been plotting war before they got to pleased status. So that's why that war is able to take place. All right, so here you go, Justinian. This is your chance. Grab some territory. If you can absorb a decent amount of China, you got a shot to... You still have a shot to win this, maybe. Let's look at the bar graphs just to see where everybody is. So yeah, Alex is definitely the strongest by a wide margin. Qin is going for feudalism, yeah. So protective longbows, but this city at least is basically toast. Yeah, like we said, Justinian he really just needs more territory. Looks like Peter's got this city. All right, so there it is. Alex converting to Confucianism. Also, I don't know what that error message is. Like I said, this makes it more likely that Alex will side with Peter. Because, like, look at the diplomacy now. He's pleased with Alex. He's pleased with Qin. He is now annoyed with Justinian. So this makes it much more likely that Alex wins and Peter comes in second. It's not good news for Justinian long term. Like, even though he's favored in this war against Qin, like, there's only so much time until Alex is done with his current war and he picks out a new target. Because you know he's going to... Let's wait until Churchill's gone and then we can consider changing up the music. All right, so Justinian's taken out all the defenses, so he should capture Shanghai here. So that goes down there. Peter getting the statue of Zeus is kind of interesting. So this should be the last stand here because there's not enough. I mean, look at all those extremely highly promoted units on the side of Alex. All right, that's that. So farewell to Churchill. It basically played out the way I expected, which was I was like, Churchill's gonna die, but I don't think he's the first one to die, if that makes sense. Still, I think that Zara's incredibly rapid collapse was unexpected to happen that fast. Like, I thought Alex would have a decent chance to beat him. I did not think it would happen anywhere near this as quickly as it did. Apparently, there's still this barb city. Alex is like, I'm not fighting barbarians. I'm not farming the barbs. I'm farming the other leaders. That's 2 now. All right, let's mark that in the spreadsheet while we're thinking about it. Also, we might end up with a very low war count because there's just not many leaders going to still be alive in this game. All right, so Churchill eliminated. Let's see. Churchill, turn 136. And Alex gets another kill. We'll mark that down. 2. This is by far the best Alex has ever done in any AI Survivor game. He just got out in front on the snowball early on. And now his warmonger stuff. Churchill would be an all-time low kill time in a normal game, but here he's second to die. Turn 136 is still very early in the game, but the pace has just accelerated so much. All right, so we've got 2 Confucian leaders, and odds are these 2 will... have a good chance to work together. Again, Alex does declare war at pleased. Does Peter declare war at pleased? I think he does, but I'm not sure. It just looks like the long-term diplomatic situation is not good for Justinian, because his Christianity is not something that's been spreading. I know we had the request to change up the music, so we can do that. Everyone should have iron working, so I'll grab that tech for the observer civ. And we can do a check on the bar graphs in a couple turns. So here's the Qin stack, here's the Justinian stack. The Justinian one's a lot more impressive. He even has quite a few catapults in this stack. I don't like, this is just random garbage. So Justinian definitely beats Qin if this war goes on. Qin does not have very many cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one looks very vulnerable compared to Justinian, who's got another ice ball city down here. Hey, this one actually has food. This one's actually pretty decent. But it's more Justinian's long-term fate is probably not good because he needs Alex to be practicing his religion, and Alex is not practicing his religion. Neither is Peter. Almost a shame because Justinian's played a really good game, I think. Like, if this was just a normal game, he'd be smoothly advancing, like he'd be making his move now, but it's just the pace of the game has been accelerated by an absurd rate. Check Peter. Well, I can't check because none of them are red right now. Like, it needed to be redded out to be able to see. I suspect that this Barb City is not going to be around for much longer because Alex is probably going to move his army down here and attack that spot. Geez, he has a lot of territory. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I count 16 cities. It's right around 16, something like that. Peter has like 1,000 units right on the border. He does have quite a few in this spot, so yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if those two come to blows at some point. Peter picked up Novgorod and Coventry in that last war. Or we could get something really wacky and Peter could convert to this religion. So again, I mean, Justinian's, he's looking good. He's playing a good game. He's a very strong AI leader. It's just Alex has gotten out of control in this game. It's hard for me to see. Maybe if Alex does not attack, maybe if Justinian takes over all of the Chinese lands, maybe he's got a shot, but that still seems unlikely to me. We'll know if Alex is planning to attack Justinian because we'll see like 20,000 Greek units walking through Chinese lands. That would be the signal. These Byzantine stacks have been quite effective, though. Now he doesn't have... Oh, he has 1 catapult in this stack. I was going to say he doesn't have any catapults. He also is barely defending this city here. A lot of wonders getting finished, too. All right, that's more like it. So, to Noah's surprise, yeah, Alex's gigantic army comes all the way over here. Now that, oh, and look, Peter apparently was focusing this city as well. Peter had 23 units here. That's what they were both focused on. They both were, like, obsessed with going and killing that Barb City. There's another one down here. We'll see if they head in that direction. I don't think there's any in the north. No, none in the north. So we've got another siege going on here. Again, Justinian is definitely stronger than Peter. It's just diplomatically, the Christianity is not looking like the right choice at the moment. But steadily this city is getting cut down. Like, China is disappearing at the moment. Just see if Alex is back to plotting war again. All right, he's already plotting war again. So, yeah, he likes. He will declare it pleased. So it's not like he can't attack these guys, but it is more likely that he's going after it is more likely that he is targeting Justinian. Well, that stack apparently didn't manage to get through the longbows, somewhat surprisingly. Again, when you see a gazillion Greek units walking through Chinese territory, that's the signal. Who does Alex like least? Definitely Justinian. He was pleased with... See, here's Alex. He's pleased with Peter. He's pleased with Qin. He's cautious with Justinian. So Justinian's made himself some real enemies in this game. Largely because he has not been able to spread his religion as far as I think we were expecting him to. And his one religious ally in this game is Qin, who he declared war on. Of course, he declared war, or he plotted war when Qin was still Confucian. But that may come back to bite him in the butt, even though he did pick up some territory. So GMP is actually pretty close between these two. The issue is more the other stuff, like production. I mean, that is not close in terms of production. Food is kind of a lagging indicator, so it tells you that not only is Alex stronger, he's going to continue to get stronger because he has more room for more population power. Yeah, apparently there was a disastrous attack here from Justinian. He lost like a dozen units here. And we know who the runaway is. Culture. Oh, it looks like he used a culture bomb somewhere. I wonder where. Probably here. Yep. Use it at York to make sure the city could control its own tiles. Not the worst idea. And that shrine. Let's just look at research rate real quick. So Justinian's at 250. Alex is 222. So Alex he's a little bit lower, but look, he's only at 40% research. He has so much room for growth there. Justinian's at 70%, and he's barely higher. Peter's at 160, and Qin is at 113. So Alex definitely is the room to become the long-term research leader. He just needs to get more infrastructure, and then he'll be set. Is this a war declaration here from Peter? Because he has units in Justinian. Yeah. It looks like things are not going Justinian's way in this game at this point, much to the chagrin of everyone who picked him. I legitimately think he would be in really good shape if Alex wasn't just doing this crazy stuff on the other side of the map. So it looks like signed a peace treaty there. That or China recaptured. I guess China recaptured it. Okay. So I kind of need... If Justinian's not going to win, I kind of need Peter to take second. Are the Greek units on their way? I still don't see them moving through Chinese territory. Oh, here they come. So he either attacked Qin or he just attacked Justinian. Who did he attack? Did he just attack... Nope, they're on their way to attack Justinian then. Because they just walked into Chinese territory. So that was but they're on their way. Poor Justinian. He got stuck on the wrong side of the religious divide again. That can happen when you tie yourself closely to religion. So here they come. The elephants are on their way. Here comes the doom stacks. Yep, here they come. We knew we would see them, but... And Justinian's still founding more religions. I mean, like, look at his capital. This is a really strong capital. It's unfortunate for him. He just is not gonna make it in this game. Oh God, Alex just triggered a golden age. Well, that's scary for everyone else. That's pretty scary. Justinian's at 260, Alex, 367. Yeah. And Justinian, remember, is doing well. The other AIs are not really close in terms of strength. So Russia grabs that city. Don't know if they'll hold it long term. Probably will give that over to China long term. Still, it's a chance they try to hold it. Where are the Greek units? Where is the Greek stack? Oh well, they'll show up soon enough. They're not headed for Russia, are they? Oh, here's the big stack, 43 units. I'm like, they're not headed for Russia, are they? Because that would be a real twist in this game. Certainly has the units rallied here. No, he apparently wants to munch on China first. Okay. Well, see you later, Chin. Alex has decided you're going to die. Looks like he wants Chinese delicacies in this game. All right, well, it certainly looks like we're headed towards Alex and Peter as the only ones left in this game, I think. So we've got two separate, like, 1v1 wars going on. Or no, China's still at war with Byzantium too, aren't they? This game got very confusing. How did Peter's score get above Justinian? Well, Peter actually has a lot of territory. Like, look how much territory Peter has compared to how much Justinian has. I don't usually like putting the culture borders on because it's harder to see, but like, look, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cities to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities. And like a lot of these are tundra nonsense on the part of Justinian, whereas Peter's cities are stronger. Justinian just unlocked, or he's about to unlock cataphracts. That's true. That's definitely going to help him in his war against Peter. So the big Greek stacks are still yet to move up. There they go. I was like, they're still on their way. Looks like Chengdu is the first target. I don't know why this stack is all catapults. That seems like bizarre stack composition. He's still got most of his units just sitting here in Hastings. It must be like a misrallied go-to order. So Alex will not have enough to win domination just from China's territory, but he will be close. He will be close from taking China's territory. Yeah, like all those catapults mostly just got killed because he moved catapults by themselves without defense. Also finishing Sistine for more culture. Meanwhile, over here, I guess we should focus on this. There is a siege going on here. And this city, Shanghai, was gifted over to China. Peter took it back from Justinian, and it was gifted back. Well, that city didn't last too long. China does not have engineering at the moment, so I don't. Yeah, China does not have castles right now. So here's the, oh wow, 14 catapults here? It's a lot of catapults. 14 catapults. So I know we mentioned Justinian building cataphracts, but he does need to control iron. Okay, he has iron under this city, so he's safe. He does need horses. If this city falls, I don't think he has horses left. So yeah, if he loses Nicaea over here, he will not be able to build cataphracts because he will not have horses. So that's kind of important. Yeah, gifted to Qin, you mean gifted to Alex? Yeah, more or less. Justinian has castles and engineering, plus he has Chichen Itza, so his cities have like absurdly high defenses, but this stack has 14 catapults in it, so can actually take down some of those defenses in a decent rate. I'm still not sure why Alex's stack, now up to 89 units, is still sitting there. I know we've seen this before, the AI just struggles with like a go-to order or something, or is waiting for some unit from like across the map to pop up. Oh wait, now that stack moved. Where did they go? Oh, they moved in here. Okay, well at least they're moving now. 89 units. I suspect they're headed for this city, Hangzhou, over here. I suspect they're just going to move doot here or here, and then take that city. There's actually two separate sieges going on. This stack has 1 catapult in it, so yeah, might be there a while. I wouldn't say Alex's conquest has been the fastest because most of his units are still just chilling around. I really don't know what he's doing with this stack. There's 100 units in this stack. Well, eventually he'll figure it out. Eventually. His 100 unit stack that's just tooling around in York for some reason. Anyway, sooner or later it'll move. All right, so Justinian lost one of his core cities down here, Nicomedia. So Peter definitely seems to be the stronger of these two. He's slowly making his way through this conquest. But we do have cataphracts on the scene. War elephants don't exactly do great against them. They're better than most other units, but that's the thing about cataphracts. Even pikes and elephants really don't do great against them. Like, there's a combat 3 cataphract. What do you do with that unit? It's effectively got a strength of like 15 and a half. I know that's not actually how the combat formula works, but basically it's roughly around strength 15 and a half or something like that. So what does a pike do? A pike is supposed to be the knight counter, but the pike still loses to that unit. So yeah, you just kind of lose. It's not much you can do. Anyway, is that stack still hold up in there? Yep. So Justinian should be able to prolong this. Somehow Qin is not dead yet, because Alex is like, I'm going to fight with my hands tied behind my back for no reason at all. Still with 100 units there. That said, there are a lot of Russian units over here. And they're starting to converge on Adrianople, so it looks like Justinian is slowly on his way out. Not before yet another religion is founded. Like, this city now has a decent number of catapults bombarding it. Yeah, it lost 12% of its defenses that turn, so slowly going down. Chengdu actually got recaptured by China, so I don't know what Alex is doing. As good as he was in that initial war, he's been that bad in this one. I really have no idea why he's losing to China. Again, let us look at the power bar graphs. Here's Alex, here's Qin. He is somehow not winning this war at the moment because he has a stack of 100 units frozen in place for some reason. Somewhat confusing, to say the least. Alex got... Oh, there it goes, finally. He had to get it all the way up to 100 somehow. All right, well, he took out the defenses instantly. So, yeah. Now that his stack is finally moving. And Peter does have his own knights, so he might not have cataphracts, but he does have knights. Anyway, so this city's dead. Might get swallowed up by Russian culture, we'll see. What are the borders on this? Yeah, this city's about to hit 500 culture borders, so that's 20. This is 10 culture, 100, 500. So yeah, this will probably get gifted to Russia. But that'll happen down the road. So it looks like Justinian attacked with his stack and killed a fair number of the units that were sieging the city. But there's like more siege coming up. Yeah. Peter's just like, all right, I've got more units behind that. He has 4 trebuchets, so that'll be able to take the defenses down next turn, I think. Where did most of the units go? Because this is not most of that stack. That stack had 100 units in it. Here it is. Here's the... All right, well, Chengdu's about to get recaptured. Meanwhile, over here, we're fighting at Adrianople. Peter killed almost all the defenders. It was a pretty major battle that turn. You can see all these maces are down at like low health. Some of them will be able to promote an attack again. I don't know why he didn't bother to take out the remaining 20% defense. So we'll watch this over here, see if Chengdu gets captured. Defenses got taken out. And then over here, Adrianople. All right, so that might have been breaking the back of the Byzantines, because this was a major, major battle here. And Justinian just lost a lot. In terms of like real, genuine cities, he has Nicaea, Constantinople, Thessalonica, and then he has some fishing villages, which can whip for production, but that's it. So I think that's kind of a turning point in terms of taking out the Byzantines. This city, now that the defenses are down, is 100% dead. As Alex heads for liberalism, continues snowballing onwards. So how many Chinese cities are remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cities. It does appear that Qing has managed to pick up engineering for castles, but that's not really going to slow this down too much. Greece is very, very, very large. Okay, this stack has 51 units in it, so I don't know if it has any siege in it either, which would mean it would just keep going and it wouldn't stop to bombard, which is probably better. Alex has the production to spare. He can afford to toss away units. So yeah, we look like we're headed to these two. And first to discover liberalism. What did he pick up with that? Probably something militaristic. He has liberal economics. Okay, so no, not something militaristic. If he goes, he will probably emphasize military tradition and rifling now, or there's a chance he goes for military science for grenadiers. We'll just have to see. But yeah, it looks like the game is consolidating down to Alex and Peter pretty quickly. Again, still at a very early date here. Do we have... Oh, over here. I wasn't watching this part of the map. I guess he was using Russia's borders to get over there more quickly. So yeah, just 4 Chinese cities left. 3 Chinese cities left. Just 3 Chinese cities left. As George Patton dies in combat. So yeah, not a ton left here. And here's the Russian stack with 29 units. We'll see if it goes for Nicaea or Constantinople next. It could head in either direction. All right, looks like it's headed for the capital, which doesn't really have a lot on defense. It's going to take a long time to capture, though, because of the 2 trebuchets. Take a long time. Where's Chichen Itza located, by the way? Is it in Constantinople? No, it's not. But this does have Great Lighthouse Colossus in it. Just trying to see. Where is Chichen Itza? It's in one of the Byzantine cities. Maybe we can see on the top 5 cities. Oh no, it's Russia. Oh, it's already been taken. Peter now has it. Okay, he already picked it up. It was in this city. Or it was in one of the cities he took. Well, anyway, he doesn't have to deal with it anymore. It was captured, in any case. I still can't find it, but it's in Russian hands, so no more Chichen Itza. Nicomedia, okay. Yep, there it is, okay. So no more extra defenses. That will speed up the rate of conquest a little bit over there. Meanwhile, the Greek death armies march on over here. No siege in this stack, so it should just run right over whatever city it hits. Delaying mysticism is not really a viable strategy. Alex, just everything came together for him perfectly in this game. There goes another Chinese city. They're falling very quickly now. Alex is, he's about to hit the population threshold, but he still needs some more territory. He will probably have to attack Peter if he wants to win by domination. Since he is extremely aggressive, I suspect that will happen eventually. Another Golden Age, or is that Taj? Okay, that was Taj Mahal. Pretty sure he has the mausoleum too. Down to just the capital left. Alex has the cuirassiers. Yeah, just 1 city left. I'm glad I didn't pick Qin to win this game. Actually reasonably happy with the picks I have because Peter for second is looking pretty good at this point. And given that hardly anyone's going to have Alex for first, so we might see the capital get taken here. Or at the very least, the defenses are probably going to be wiped out. Yeah, there it goes. Poor Justinian. Very valuable city for Peter. So yeah, we're seeing, wow, that's a lot of great people. Very serious consolidation. Yeah, it could, yeah, Alex can have 3 turn 200 eliminations. Jeez. We've definitely never seen one leader eliminate 3 opponents before turn 200. Just 3 in one game is relatively rare, although it does happen. No, Peter, this game is an Alex lock at this point. I cannot see him losing from this position. He has so much territory. And he's also ahead in tech too, by the way. I mean, he's in a golden age right now, so we can't get a great sense for his true teching rate. But, I mean, once all these cities come out of resistance, it's going to be just absurd. All right, so third elimination of the game. Chin just got absolutely run over. Imagine how many times Alex would have been screwed by the Apostolic Palace. Yeah, seriously. Let's put that in the spreadsheet first before we do anything else. All right. So, well, we don't have to resort the list. Chin is next to go. This is turn 192. Alex gets another kill, 3 kills. Too bad he won't be able to get 4. I don't think we've ever had 4 in one game before. And the reason why, well, I guess he could declare on Justinian and sneak the last hit. So I guess it is possible to get 4 in this game. But I don't believe we've ever seen 4 in one game. It's really hard to do. We see 3 periodically, but we never see 3 this early in the game. This is really early. All right, so down goes another one. Again, he's already at 45% land area. When these cities pop their borders, it still won't be enough to get him over the limit. Also, he'll probably give some of these over to Peter. Like, Xi'an has a decent odds of going over to Peter, but we'll see. Maybe not. Meanwhile, Peter's conquest just continues. Let's look just quickly at diplomacy. So here is something that's significant. He's friendly with Peter. Friendly, won't declare war. If that persists, we could end, and Peter is friendly with him. So maybe we do start heading towards space in this game. Maybe we do if they stay friendly. That is, if they stay with the big faith bonus. If they lose the faith bonus, though, if they go into free religion. So we might be in for a fair bit of next turning here. If these two are stuck at perma-friendly, then they won't declare on each other. So that was an attack launched against Thessalonica that came up short. Needless to say, Alex is cautious towards Justinian, so he absolutely could continue that war, or start a new war, excuse me, if he wanted to. Alex is picking up rifling. Just to make him that much more overpowered. Justinian going for the Holy Hand Grenade. Something like that. Yeah, so that last Peter attack did fail to take this city, so Justinian was able to stall for a bit. That said, this city is the only thing supplying him with horses, so if he loses this city, he will not be able to train cataphracts. Peter does seem to be regrouping over here, bringing up more units. I'm waiting for Alex to come out of a golden age so we can get like a real bar graph reading on him. While he's in a golden age and everything is just disgusting. I mean, if you want to see, just real quick, Justinian's at 100 beakers per turn. Peter's at 450, and he's only at 350. Oh, you know what? Because he just got rifling, he's upgrading units. Never mind. He's running 80% gold to upgrade his units. So for whatever reason, Peter really wants to grab this city next. He has a couple trebuchets, so he will be able to take it eventually. Well, Alex is in a golden age because he built Taj, not because... Maybe his golden age has run out. We could check and see. Nope, still in a golden age. See the double production? Is he in uni suffrage? Yeah, he's in uni suffrage. Okay. Universal suffrage. That's an odd choice. What were their favorite civics? Okay. So vassalage is Peter's favorite civic, so that also is boosting their relations, and bureaucracy is his favorite, although Alex is not running. Actually, neither one of them are running the favorite civics. They're running their own favorite civics, but the other one is not. So they're actually not getting a civics bonus with each other right now. All right, so Alex's golden age has ended. He's still just upgrading units for the moment. And, you know, on the power bar graph, I'm sure this is an absurd spike. Yep, it just turns into an exponential curve for a little bit. Peter does not have rifling, but he doesn't appear to need it at the moment because Justinian's research is kind of stalled out. So we're 200 turns into the game. It feels like we're further into the game than that. We had a city get captured down here. Oh, wow. With one cuirassier on its last hit, took that city. So yeah, the Byzantines are on their way out. There's really no way to recover from this. The only way that they could recover is if Alex turned and attacked Peter, but with them being friendly with each other, that's not going to happen. So why don't we wait and we'll do a big assessment when the Byzantines are gone. I think that's more useful at this point. Like stop and assess things when we're down to just 2. And just check to see if he's plotting war. Oh, we have enough on our hands right now, so maybe we can see a 4th kill for Alex in this game, because he is apparently planning to declare war on Justinian here, apparently. All right, ignoring the observer civ as it discovers a tech. Still waiting to see a bunch of light blue units come riding through here. So once again, an attack on Thessalonica came up a little bit short. Like, redlined some units, but was not actually able to capture this city. Leaving the door open for more Justinian's units, or not Justinian, more of Alex's units to come in here. He's still upgrading, running plus 800 gold per turn. Yeah, congrats on bronze working, thanks. When is Alex ever not plotting war? Indeed. I'm just waiting to like see the big stack running into Byzantine territory. Haven't seen it yet though. Here comes the longbow in to defend this city. How close do you need to be in war count? If you're within 5, you get 1. It's within 5 is where the threshold starts. I believe it's 3 if you're within 2, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so Peter has been kind of inefficient in the trailing stages of this war. He did really well earlier, but now he's kind of like gotten away from methodically sieging down cities, just kind of like randomly tossing units, and it's not working. Here's a larger stack over here. Got at least a couple trebuchets. I think he's struggling with the cataphracts, honestly. They're just a lot stronger than the other units. Again, if he took this city, it would cut off the flow of cataphracts, or if he just pillaged this tile. It's the only horses that Justinian has, but he's been struggling with that. So instead, we've just been rolling onwards. That was a long time for the cursor to spin there. Has he finished upgrading yet? Nope, not really. Still upgrading units. I guess he has an awful lot to upgrade, but he's still upgrading his units right now. So this war has just kind of been getting dragged out here due to this lengthy failure to kill off the remaining units. I guess it's only a matter of time until Peter gets up to rifles, though. He just needs replaceable parts in rifling. He's been diving down the scientific method line to try to get the physics great scientist. Can I check Alex's military numbers? I mean, we saw on the bar graph that he had like an absurd military rating. I mean, so there he is in comparison to the other two. As I said, Peter has not been doing a good job of hitting the tail stages of this war. Is he suffering from war weariness? Yeah, it looks like he's got a fair bit. With Alex controlling like literally the entire continent, he's way ahead in that regard. So is Alex going to be like, all right, let me show you how this is done? He completes Versailles too. Looks like it, because he just entered Byzantine territory. Yep. Here comes Big Daddy to finish the job. Maybe he can get 4 kills in one game. So there's another tick for our word declaration counter. So yeah, that's a pretty good stack. He only has 34 units in it, but he does have rifles and cavalry to go along with the other units. So that city looks pretty toast. Still building a pike in Shanghai for some reason. I mean, he just has so much territory. Does the remainder of Justinian's territory? It might be close. It's going to be close because he's already at 50%. It could be close. If I had to guess, I would say no, but he'll be within a 5% for sure. So my thinking is probably not, but you know, he could just settle the tundra down here and that might be enough because like he might move to do that. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it'll be reasonably close as opposed to sitting and waiting out a potential spaceship. I mean, I would be fine with the spaceship because I have spaceship as the victory condition. We also need to see how much territory Peter ends up capturing here. Like, how much of this territory is grabbed by Peter as opposed to being grabbed by Alex? Because if it's all taken by Alex, then he's obviously a lot closer to the domination threshold. So how many cities are left for Justinian? 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Alex also might end up on domination if he goes for culture. That's true. He's not a likely leader to go for culture, though. It's not really one of his flavors militarily. Oh, and he just triggered another golden age. Okay, buddy. What's your research rate right now? 1,000 beakers. He's only at 50%. He's still running plus 900 gold per turn. Like, look at that. He's still at plus 926. He's still upgrading units. Like, look, there's a longbow here. Still upgrading. Just has so many units. Takes it a long time for him to upgrade all of them. Yeah. They're all plotting against us, sure. Just a whole bunch of cavalry. Well, that sure took him a lot less time than it did poor Peter. He's like, what are you doing? I'm just going to walk over here and take this city. Just ran over it with his cavalry. Had no difficulty taking it. 51% right now, but we'll have to wait and see when these cities pop their borders, come out of resistance. Because they will obviously pick up tiles when that happens. All right, so we've got the little colony down here in the Antarctic, and then we have Nicaea, which has been strangely untouched for like this entire time. But now there's finally some Greek units coming over here. Yeah, so there's 169 units. So nice knowing you. Although I think this Peter stack might take the city first. I don't know. It's a lot of units. Looks like Peter's stack was not sufficient. This stack is, though. Like, there goes the defenses. And that city is very dead on this upcoming turn. Alex, and there goes another city down here. Alex moves before Peter, so he should get this. Peter is too incompetent. Yep, so Alex does take that city, and now there's just one left. So yeah, it looks like we're going to see the quadruple elimination here from Alex. Nice knowing you. Yeah, we've never had one AI get 4 kills in a single game. So we're basically just watching this stack walk forward, one tile at a time. Well, Justinian, we all liked you, and I really, the weird thing is I don't even think Justinian played a bad game. He was done in on by events on the other side of the world that were kind of out of his control. That said, I'm reasonably pleased with this because having Peter for second and Zara for first to die means I'm in pretty decent shape from a scoring perspective. All right. Down you go. Bye, Justinian. The curse of 75% of people picking you in the picking contest. It's the kiss of death, I say. All right. So another kill, almost a pentakill. Yeah, sadly that's not possible because you hit domination before you can get that. Let's mark it on our spreadsheet, shall we? So Justinian not going on to the playoffs this year. Eliminated in third place in this game on turn 228. Wow, it's not even just the 4 kills, which is itself really impressive. It's to do it in such a short span of time too. In 228 turns to eliminate 4 AIs is insane. 4 kills. It's just that one, the kill on Zara was so fast. It really is not something we have any experience with from past games. All right, so now we're down to 2. Pretty much know who's going to win, but the question is, how is this game going to end? Also, don't look now, but Alex is down to just being pleased with Peter, just down to pleased at this point. So yeah, this is probably not going out to a spaceship. Probably not. Alex has 71% of the population, 56% of the land area. So yeah, this is probably not going to last all the way out to space. We'll see how long it takes, but I mean, I guess technically Peter could declare on him too, because they're both pleased. If you're wondering what the issue was, it was mostly close border tension, but it was also spy screwing around. Your spy was causing trouble. All right, so reveal tile mode. There we go. Let's click through a turn or two, and then we'll compare these guys. Peter declaring on Alex would be a pretty funny way for this game to end. All right, so Alex just finished Statue of Liberty. I suspect he's going to be racing to grab this Barb City. All right, so he's at 57%. He needs, what, 64? He needs 64, so he's within 7% or so. Yeah, he's 7% away right now from winning. It's not enough just from his borders expanding. Maybe if he settled the whole Tundra South, but more likely he needs to attack Peter if he's going to win the game by domination. Let's look at their status on the bar graphs. Look at the last 100 turns. All right, so GMP is very one-sided. Alex is in a golden age right now. Production, food. I mean, it's very one-sided, as you'd expect. Power, culture. In terms of their tech rates, looks like Alex is finally done upgrading, or almost done. He's still running a surplus of 400 gold, but he's at 1,600 beakers, and Peter's at 700, so he's more than double. And if you're curious about where they are on the tech tree, Alex is researching assembly line. He has all of the Renaissance techs. He has about half of the industrial techs. And let's just see in comparison where Peter is. Peter is 7 or 8 techs behind, I'd say. Well, actually, he still doesn't even have rifling. And he's missing all this stuff at the bottom of the tech tree. So Alex is half an era to an era ahead in tech and getting further ahead in tech. So did Peter get the Christian Holy City? Now that's a good question. No, that was picked up by Alex because that would dictate. Oh, you know what? The other reason why they are no longer friends, Peter went free religion. That was not a good decision, Peter. You should not have gone free religion. That is a decision that's hazardous to your health. Oh, I can't see the... I can't get the option to see if he's plotting war anymore because their relations are too good. Yeah, we're afraid of their military might. I imagine so. Well, we'll see how long before Alex decides to go after Peter. He did just plant this city, and he's about to capture this Barb City, so he's going to pick up more territory from the Tundra. Unless this gets picked up by Peter. They each have 1 unit here. This is like the dramatic tension of the game right now is who's going to capture Goth. Looks like it's probably going to be Alex because Peter's unit died. Oh, here comes more Peter units. But there's only 1 longbow remaining, and remember, Alex moves first between the 2 of them in turn order. So... Let's see. Oh, it's actually taken by Russia. That Cav got a bad dice roll and died. Actually, quite a few tundra cities down here. Alex is up to 59% now on the land area. A couple tundra cities down there. If you can ask him to declare war, then he isn't plotting. So if you can ask him, then he isn't. Okay. So he's not plotting if it's white. Gotcha. That makes sense, because it would be redded out if he was plotting war. That makes sense. So don't look now, but Alex is actually researching through the tech tree pretty darn fast, too. So if he wanted to, he could probably just push through the tech tree. Look at all the spying. These guys cannot, the AI cannot stop spying. There's actually a -3 now for spying on the part of stupid Peter. He's like, I'm going to poke this bear. I got a sharp stick, and I'm going to poke this bear. So yeah, we're mostly just going to next turn this for the time being. Alex's research rate is enormously higher. He's now up to 61%. Geez, I wonder if he would have won. I wonder if this would actually make the difference, because he's at 61% land area now. He's close. I mean, if he declares war and takes like 2 cities, it's the end of the game. Needless to say, my late victory date is not looking like a good prediction at all in that regard. I was like, I think it's going to be a late victory because I think it's going to go to space. And this game, the leaders were like, about that. That's maybe you did get Zara correct, and you kind of stumbled into Peter being a correct pick. Well, all right. Well, it's over, you guys. That did not take very long. So expect this to be finished in a very short period of time. We could have an incredibly early finish here, and it looks like we're headed in that direction. Unless he decides to change his mind, but I suspect this is not going to last too much longer. I mean, he's very, very close to hitting the domination limit already. He's almost at 62% already. And he's researching artillery, and yeah. I don't know what these random catapults are doing in here. Alex is a full generation ahead in tech. He has assembly line, he has artillery. Peter is still on the rifles and calves level of tech. So how much longer does this last? We'll know when the war starts, because all the little blue dots in red territory and all the little red dots in blue territory will suddenly get teleported back into their borders. So we've hit turn 250. I'm actually kind of hoping this will end pretty quickly, because I'm not going to get any points for fast finish, so I don't want any of you guys to get points for fast finish either, or on victory date, not fast finish. You are still plotting war, aren't you? Geez, and now he's going to go for industrialism and build tanks. I mean, he still says he has enough on his hands already, but he's building mostly research, so I don't know how that squares with it. No, I mean, if Peter's units are in, that's a good question. Would Peter's units get kicked out? It's a good question. Is it just the aggressor's units that get bounced? I can't remember exactly how that works. Oh, okay. Or apparently he just got enough without a war. Okay. Apparently his ice cities were enough. All right. Would have happened even faster if he captured that Barb city. Okay, that was that. What a surprising ending to that one. Yeah, so a super early turn 253 domination victory. Didn't even have to declare war. Apparently there was no war declaration. He just, borders kept expanding, and that was enough. Yeah, one of our fastest finishes. I know Shaka had a turn 50-ish finish in season 2, I want to say. Season 2 or 3, Shaka had a super early one. Yeah, if he captured that Barb city, he would have won about 4 or 5 turns earlier. Really early. 252. People were saying 252 is the fastest. Oh, and Wina Kopak apparently had a super fast one last year. All right, well, that was something. Why don't we look at the replay of this very short game? All right, so again, the most important thing that happened in the game was Zara just completely stumbling all over himself and be a complete and utter failure in this one. And Alex making his move super early and just hitting him when he did not have anything to defend. See, usually these super early wars fail. Like, that's one of the reasons why Alex tends to be a bad AI leader. The super duper early, most of, like, a quarter of the map's still unsettled, but I'm going to start slamming units into you anyway. That usually is a failing strategy. But he was able to get that copper hooked up early, build phalanxes, and hit the the Ethiopians when they had no archery tech, no bronze working, no iron working. So all they could build were chariots and warriors. And phalanxes are pretty good against chariots and warriors. So super one-sided war. Earliest elimination ever by a very wide margin. And just like that, I mean, Zara's dead. Excuse me, Zara is dead so fast. So fast. And I mean, at this point, Alex has double anyone's territory and he's going for early construction. So he just steamrolls everybody. And then he's like, oh, you know what? We're going to go after Churchill now. He waited, what, 10 turns, 15 turns before he attacked Churchill. And then it's like, I've got catapults and I've got way more cities, so I can just keep spamming units and throwing them at you and just run you right over. So Churchill dies, and that light blue wave just continues advancing across the map. Now at this point, no one can really deal with him, so it's just who's he want to take out next. And Justinian gets involved. Justinian also makes a diplomatic mistake. He gets involved in a war with his only religious ally. A little bit unlucky for him, but as the only two Christian leaders, it certainly couldn't be in a situation where the two of them are fighting each other. So then we get the attack by Greece on China, and China disappears. And meanwhile, Peter is just riding those coattails against Justinian. And he's slowly making some progress. And then Alex is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to show you how this is done. He just jumps in the war and very quickly eliminates the Byzantines. And then that's it. Plant those tundra cities in the ice and then wait for the borders to expand. And apparently that was enough with that super fast finish. He was actually picking up some tiles because he had I think he had Eiffel Tower, or he at least had broadcast towers. And that's plus 50% culture in every city. So that baby blue just overruns the map, and it was just a snowball. After Zara goes down, it's just a total snowball, and no one else could keep up. So that's that.